Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. Hope everybody's doing well. This is the weekly outlook for the currencies for the week of October 4th to October 9th. And I'm going to take a look at what's setting up for the major currency pairs. Australian dollar starting off on the weekly time frame. It's been a strong move to the upside, but now we had a pullback, and we done at this point, ready to go? Using the fibs, we can get a good idea of what is to be expected going into this week here. Okay, so at this point here, it looks like our retracement from the high came into about the just a little below 23%. So in around 25% retrace, and now we're bouncing to the upside. So are we done at that point? Is the key question. And if we drop down to the daily, then we might get a better look. And again, that retracement is to this level. We could see, possibly, we could see a move to the downside one more time. That would take us into about the 38% retracement level. So here's the 38. Actually, 38% is right on this line here. So we could see a move down to that area, and before we go one more time. This is totally possible. Otherwise, if price just continues up, then we'll see a break of this level and a push to the upside. So right now, looking strong for the Aussie dollar currently, but again, this could turn to the downside for the remainder of the week, or otherwise it'll be pushing to the upside. So, okay, so that's Aussie dollar. Let's take a look at the Canadian dollar and go to the weekly time frame. A similar type of move, a very strong push to the upside, again using the fibs. This is a very powerful way of taking a look at what expected move could occur. And you can see on this one, we've come very close to the 38% retracement, and looking to push to the upside as well. So again, let's take a closer look. You can see here we are right up against resistance, a very strong resistance area, and that could again be pointing to a further downside to the Canadian dollar this week. Well, let's take a closer look. So at this level, here's our 38% retracement level. We're very close to it, and at this level, it looks like again we could also have another push back down before we continue to the upside. That's totally possible here at this point. Again, if we break this level going up, then of course strength is with the Canadian dollar. So at this moment in time, it's strength, but we're looking for a possible turnaround back down. Okay, so that's two. Take a look at the let's take a look at the US dollar. Sure. Okay, on the weekly time frame. Okay, so US dollar, its move very strong to the downside, and again we can again put the fibs on to see what the expected move could possibly be here. And here we go again. So with this one, let me just put this on here. We are also looking possible 38% retrace level. Okay, of course it could go much higher. It could go even up to 50%. Or even 61.8%. However, looking at about 38% in the short term. Okay, so dropping to the daily time frame. Okay, now we can see again our structure at this point. So it's again possible that we could have one more push back down to the 38% level, which is right there, before we continue down. Okay, so this is would be an expected move. However, again, if prices push down and breaks this level, then all bets are off and we're heading to the downside. But again, right now the U.S. dollar showing a little bit of hesitation, so a little bit of neutrality in the U.S. dollar at this point tonight. Okay, let's take a look at the euro on the weekly. Okay, and again, a similar analysis. We had this move to this level, push up, and we'd be looking again at the 38% level, or possible move back down. And we can look at this a little closer on the daily. Okay, so let me just go back to the weekly real quick. This level, the resistance was here. We breached it a little bit, and now we headed down. Okay, so that's very crucial at this point. Now, again, we could have a move that takes us back down towards the 38% retracement level. So that's what I'm looking for, and then a bounce. So unless this is totally wrong, if price breaks this level, and otherwise we're going to be heading down. So a little bit of, again, of neutrality right now for the euro because of where it's sitting. And I'll show you that neutrality by dropping the one time frame lower. We go down to the 4-hour time frame, and you can see why I'm saying it's a bit neutral. At this level, we are basically in a up and down type affair. Okay, so a little bit neutral at this point. Okay, let's take a look at the Swiss franc on the weekly time frame. Okay, so quite the push on this one. A little bit different here. Cannot see to the left altogether, so I'm going to go to the monthly, and on the monthly there's nothing there. Okay, so on the weekly, the last line of defense was at this point, and we broke that, but now we're again turning to the downside. But the overall structure at this point is pointing to also a continued move to the upside. However, we have to finish that move down first. So I could, in essence, put the fibs on at this point, and we could get, again, and looking at that 38% retracement, which is very close at this move here. Okay, so dropping to the daily, this is what I'm seeing here. This move playing out again, one more drop back down to the 38. Again, we could even come down to the 50. It's totally possible before we see a turnaround here. The Swiss currently has some strength to the upside, so a little bit of strength, and the key here again would be any break of this level going up, and that's it. All bets are off, but otherwise we'll be heading back down again towards the 38 to 50% area. Okay, so a little bit of strength right now with the Swiss. Let's take a look at Japanese yen on the weekly, and also very strong to the upside for a while, but now it's pushing back down, and we're at a very strong resistance area all the way across. On the daily time frame, okay, we're pushing to the downside currently, so a little bit of weakness in the Japanese yen at this moment in time, and we can see this even better if we drop to the 4-hour time frame. So here's what it looks like on the 4-hour. So what I'm seeing here, this move, we're heading back down. So we're going to breach this low. So lots of weakness in the Japanese yen going into this week, and looking to come back down to these levels here. Okay, so that's for the Japanese yen. Okay, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar on the weekly time frame. Okay, so again, another one that's reached a resistance area, and again, a fall back, but again, looking for this to continue to the upside. However, putting the fibs on this one, we get a 38% retracement, and we're not there as yet. So I'm looking for that to come back down to that level. Dropping to the daily, we'll see this a little clearer. Okay, and right now it just has a little bit of a blip here. I would expect another drop down to at least this level. Could go a little lower, of course, before we see a turnaround. So right now there's a little bit of strength in the New Zealand dollar to the upside, but that could change imminently. Okay, Mexican peso I'll leave out. Let's take a look at the British pound on the weekly. Okay, again, a similar play on the weekly. We're right up at a resistance area. We had this pullback. So what I'm seeing overall here is again another push for the British pound to the upside, and right now it does have a little bit of strength. Okay, so dropping to the daily, this is what I would be looking at. So at this one, I can see that we've already played out. Okay, so if I were to put the fibs on this one, more than likely we'll be at a 38% retrace. So let me do that from the weekly so we can see what I'm seeing here. So from that level there, and it looks like it's even gone lower than our down to the 50% retrace area. So we did hit 50% retrace, uh, and went even a little lower. So now that pushed to the upside. So what I'd be expecting here is a move like this, and then another move to the upside. Okay, so got a little bit of strength in the British pound right now, but we could get a little bit of a pullback before another push to the upside for the remainder of the week. Okay, a quick look at the S&P 500, and I'll go to the weekly on that one as well. And this one now, it looks like a complete move in waves, and this move down with a pin bar at this point is pointing to another push to the upside. Okay, so lots of strength right now to the upside. Not seeing a pullback at this point on the weekly, dropping to the daily time frame. Okay, I'm seeing this move here, this move down. Whoops, this move down to the current position should continue. We might go a little bit sideways, but we should continue to the upside, retracing this move here at this point. Okay, and again, if I put the fibs on this one, let's just see where it's pointing to at this point. So we're looking at the current retrace is at the 38% level, almost at the 38%, very close to the 38%. Then we got that rebound. Okay, so if we drop to a lower time frame like the 4-hour, we get a better look at this. This is what I'll be seeing setting up for tomorrow. So right now I see this as a continuation move to the upside, breaking this level and continuing to the upside. If I'm totally wrong, then of course this is going to go and come back down and would do something like this. So that's the opposite. But again, I'm looking for strength to the upside. But again, in the short term, we could get a move back down, definitely. But I think overall, we'll be pushing back to the upside. All right, so that's a look at those guys. And I think I had gold on here, but it doesn't look like I have gold on here. Let me take a quick look at gold futures and see what we have. And on the weekly time frame, okay, on the weekly, strong push to the upside, but a big, huge pullback at this point. And on the daily time frame, we kind of slid sideways to down. And are we turning around? Is it ready to go? It's possible, but it's looking like we have another leg down with gold at this point here. So looking like we're coming back down to this level at least before we start going back up again. So a little bit of weakness in gold going into this week, and you can see right now it's currently heading to the downside. If I drop down to a 4-hour time frame, we'll see that even better. You can see right now we are indeed heading down. Okay, so I can see price coming back down, and again, it's just a simple thing just to use the fib, and that will give you a good idea of where price might go to. Even if we look at a 50% retrace of this current move, we'd be coming into this previous support, or at 61.8, just a little bit above 61.8, the next support area. So looking like price is definitely going to come back down to that level, just a retrace of this current move before it might start to come back again. So for this week, looking like we're heading down in gold. All right, so that's a look at what's setting up for those currencies. So profitable trading to everyone. I'm done now. Thank you.